Alright guys, it's been a second since I posted a video. You guys have been keeping me super busy with all the orders, so that's a good thing. I'm not going to complain there for sure. But I figured I would show you guys what I'm working on right now. This is kind of like a version 2 of my old headlight, which I might have one printed out sitting right here somewhere. I guess maybe I don't, but if you've bought one before, this was probably almost 3 years ago at this point, at least 2, when I made my version 1 of this taillight mount. I'm starting to play around with a few things like putting my logo or my website name on this. This is just a prototype, so I didn't print this like solid or nice or anything like that. That's why the C ripped out of here, because this is printed with a lot of infill. I mean, not a lot of infill, it's pretty lightweight. So the final version would obviously be printed thicker than this, but this is kind of how my brain works. Might as well kind of show you through my design process. What I wanted is something similar to what I had that, had like basically a LED strip light, but shorter, because the shortest one I could find before was about 8 inches, 8.5 inches, sometimes up to 9, which is just way too big for a dirt bike application. So this basically fits right up underneath the rear fender of the bike. These are going to be mounting holes for a plate mount, which the old one didn't really have. And I'll show you this. So this is how the light's going to install. I made a little hole channel for the wires to go through, basically. So I can just feed these through like that. As you can see, it comes right out the back. And then this light bends around perfectly. It fits just right on both sides with like a little bit of room for, just to make sure that it's in there good. And anyway, the idea with this is that I can get a little thin piece of plastic that will slide into a channel that I've put in here. You probably won't be able to see it too well because of the lighting in here. Maybe if I do something like that, there you go, you can see that little square channel right there. And basically I've 3D printed, just to test it, I want to get it out of like nice thicker plastic at some point. Just have to figure out how to do that, if I can buy it in rolls or something. And then that plastic will act as a lens and cover this while also holding this in, which is the big problem I have with these, because this double-sided tape works okay, but it's not ideal. I would much rather have something physical holding this in, whether that be zip ties or the lens idea. Probably most likely the lens idea is what I want to go with. But right now I'm working on mocking up this new plate light, which is a lot brighter than what I was using before. This has 3 LEDs on it, and I've been slowly moving towards everything being like a hard shell thing, just because they're much more durable that way. But I'm trying to take some dimensions so that I can basically have this bolted right onto this directly below the LEDs if you decide to have a plate light. This will be like an option, like everything on my website. So if you like the clean look of just this with no plate light and a plate mount, that'll be an option. Or if you want the plate light, that'll be an option. So you can do either way, but basically that's how this is going to work. So this will bolt on right here, and I'll just take this out for now since it's not actually in there, but this will basically line up something like that. This plate light will go right above it and illuminate your whole plate. Super nice. So I just figured I would show you guys kind of like my design process, what I do. So the first thing I'll do is I'll take my pair of calipers here, and I'll take all the appropriate measurements. So I would do a measurement, from the outside of the bolts to the outside, and then I would get a measurement of the diameter pretty much, and then I would use that, do a little bit of math, figure out what the center to center is, which is pretty easy. Basically you just take the outside measurement, you take a measurement of these, and then you subtract the measurement of one diameter of the thread of the bolts that you're measuring, and that'll give you a center to center. So that's what I'll be doing, and then I'll probably take like overall measurements of this light, you know, just to get a rough quick measurement on that. And then I will probably, most likely, what I like to do is I'll actually copy this exact thing in my CAD software so that I can mock up all of this in 3D before I even print it, which is super helpful. I do that all the time. So that way I can like physically attach the plate mount, physically attach this in my program, and then I can tell if it's gonna fit or not before I waste time, you know, printing this multiple times and testing just to get it to fit. But anyway, that's kind of the idea so far. After I get this whipped up on the computer, I will show you the next steps on this. But let me know what you guys think about like putting my website somewhere where it's most likely not seen, like underneath on the back. I'm not going to be putting it like across the front or anything stupid like that. But comment below if that's something that bothers you, or if it's something that you would be cool with, just as a reminder of where you got the stuff from. Or if you need replacement parts, then you have the website right here, easy to see. But I'd be curious to know what you guys think about that. So I will get the measurements taken and start drawing this on the computer and kind of walk you guys through briefly what that looks like. All right, well, as per usual with me, this seems to happen a lot. Things have snowballed a little bit, but what I've done here is I've made a little block, this block here, that can detach from the taillight entirely. So there's these two little, you can kind of see them there, these two little holes there. Those are for a couple brass inserts, and then it will screw in with some screws right here. And then these are basically the shafts of the bolts that are coming off of the license plate light. So there'll be enough engagement for the nut to fully seat onto there. That's just a quick and dirty model of what the plate light looks like. And so pretty much that is how it's gonna work. And this also is nice because I can print this separate from this, and it will make it easier because this has to lay flat on my build plate for this to be as cosmetically pleasing as I would like. And so this way it'll allow me to attach that without having too much issues. And also the plate mount should still clear because it will kind of cover up everything right here. It will even cover up the wires as well, which I made a channel for that goes back towards the rest of the wiring. So basically this just passes through right here and comes out by these other wires, is how that works. But basically, yeah, that's the first real prototype, you could say, of the light. And while I'm at it, I guess I might as well show you what this strip light is gonna look like. So let me get this going for you here. I have this little benchtop power supply that I use to test anything I want to try out. So, excuse the mess. This is a working garage as well as a toy garage, so that's kind of how it works. But anyway, I'll connect this guy up here, just ground. So let's see if I can set this up for you. This is going to be the brake light. Let me just try and make it, there you go, there's a good solid connection. That's how brake light will look. And this will be your blinker right there, and it is sequential just like everything else I have. And your running light will look just like this, just a dimmer version of the brake light. And then here's your other blinker, which is sequential as well. So that's kind of the idea. That's what I'm going for with this new design. And I suppose I can show you how bright that this little tail light, this light is. Let me turn this back on. There you go. That's how bright this little guy is. As you can tell, pretty dang good. These are shop lights that are above me, like really bright shop lights, so for you to even be able to see the light on my hands is pretty impressive. It should light up pretty much most of the street underneath you as well. But that is the taillight design, pretty much all ready to go and mocked up. I'm going to print it out and obviously test fit, see how it looks.